my name is Samantha Kingston. I'm applying for your scholarship, and I went in to summarize. In my summary, I talked about how Cindy Biggs was one of my most impactful teachers. She was my 3rd and 4th grade teacher. She's the one that really got me to know that education was the path that I wanted to follow. I still sometimes keep in contact with her today, not as often as I would like to, but when I was little, we were at a career fair, and she really just opened my eyes and told me that I'd be a great teacher. And since then, I've had the opportunity to work with people like my niece and my other niece and my nephew and try and help expand their educational knowledge. The part I'm going to touch on today was the other teacher that I listed, and that was Jonna Turner. She was a big factor in my decision to become a teacher. She was I had her my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school. She was my advanced child development, and this class where you went out into preschools and worked hands-on in the preschool classrooms to get some experience. She was my teacher for those classes. She had a really big impact on me because my sophomore year of high school, I attended Noblesville High School. We had that school shooting. When we had that school shooting, I remember being a student in the classroom, being scared out of my mind. Granted, at the time, we didn't know that it was only at the middle school. For all we knew, the alarm had went off, and it was code red, this is not a drill. There's an intruder in the building. We're unaware of his whereabouts. Barricade and take cover. So while this was happening, I remember being in the classroom in the corner just crying. I remember texting a sister that I haven't talked to in a while and just saying, I know we've been through a lot, but I just want you to know that I love you. Honestly, I remember my classmates and I not knowing if we were going to make it out of the building that day. That was a really hard time for me because not only was it hard mentally, but also it was hard thinking about my future from that moment on. That was on Memorial Day weekend, or the Friday or Thursday before Memorial Day weekend. Once we finally were able to leave the classrooms and our parents were able to pick us up, I remember walking out of the building and seeing SWAT officers everywhere, and they told us to make sure that they could see your hands, and it was a very traumatic experience that I've been able to luckily work through. But I remember going into her classroom when we found out that we had to go to school that Tuesday, since it wasn't actually taking place at the high school, and I told her, I looked at her and I said, Miss Turner, I don't know if I can be a teacher anymore. I don't know if this is something that I can continue to do. I don't know, after that feeling, I couldn't imagine having to be a teacher in charge of all of those kids in that situation. And she looked at me and she said, don't worry about it right now. It's okay. Take the summer, relax, hang out with your family, heal, and then in the fall, start your class, and if you go to the classrooms and you realize you can't do it, we can go from there. So that's what I did. I took the summer and I kind of dealt with how I was feeling and everything, and I still was second guessing my decision, but I went back in the fall and I started in the classrooms, and she told me, give it a month, and if you still feel like you can't do it, we'll switch you out. And I remember going in the classrooms and it felt like I was the most comfortable place in the world, hugs with all the little kids, and it was just nothing mattered but the environment, and nothing mattered but their education and teaching them anything from their ABCs to letter recognition. It was an aha moment. This is what I was put on this earth to do, was teach little kids. So from that moment on, I knew that that's what I was supposed to do, regardless of the risk. Every job has risks, but I knew that was the hardest moment of my life to go through, was doubting that career choice. And I honestly think that to this day, now I'm working at Westfield Intermediate School as an IA. I work with kids with minor learning disabilities, and still to this day, I couldn't see myself doing anything but having my own classroom and teaching kids. And honestly, having an impact on even one child would mean the entire world to me. And I think that my experience in the intermediate school now goes to point towards the extra experience I'll have when I am a teacher, and the ability that I will have to deal with situations with kids with learning disabilities, or when they get frustrated. This hands-on experience that I'm getting now, I think I couldn't get any other way. It's taught me so much, and I wouldn't be who I am today without it. And it just sort of like solidified that this is what I want to do, is I want to teach. And that's my story. I've been through a lot, and it's been hard to stick on this career path. However, I know that this is what I was put on the earth to do. Anyways, thank you for your time, and thank you for your consideration, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.